That belongs in a museum.
So he's looking at about 26 max burst from that combo. He has 1 Raven Idol remaining.
Yeah, barring multiple Emperor ticks, he will not get a Malygos swipe unless it just naturally lives. And this is one of the best plays you can make into Ancient of War for sure. Sylvanas.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to use the Shield Slam here. He knows that the Ancient of War is not going to die very easily. So he's hoping to just guarantee get good value out of it while being able to hold Shield Slam, being able to hold Execute for those Arcane Giants, the Malygos, those difficult to remove minions.
I'm curious if Thijs is going for Spell or for Minion here.
Well, you're really close to killing him. If you can get another Moonfire, another Living Roots, you can really turn on the heat.
Yep, Nourish is not what he's looking for at this point. He's already so deep into the build, this extra card draw just doesn't really matter that much. No. And I think he's taking Mulch to make sure he can eventually hedge against
this. He's taking it to steal his opponent's Sylvanas with his Sylvanas, which is a very, very good play right now for the board state situation. But not only that, in the future, Jason's N'Zoth's not going to bring back Sylvanas because his Sylvanas didn't die.
That's a big deal, actually.
Taken.
That is actually a really huge deal.
Yeah,
I looked at this and Brawl just his deadly shot here, just to kill 1 minion.
You have to do it. Thijs isn't going to commit more power onto the board than that. He's just going to push 10 a turn. So just getting the value out of Brawl when you can, I think is a very smart move by Jason here.
Bottom cards of this build, it's an excellent point. I mean, this is kind of a nightmare for Thijs right now. He needed this to unlock the damage sooner.
Yeah, and the Gadgets and Auctioneer is buried deep inside there.
His bottom 4 cards are Arcane Giant, Emperor Thaurissan, Gadgets, and Auctioneer, 4 of the major tools that he needs for this matchup.
Yeah, the win conditions that assemble the Malygos combo before they get to 40 armor, basically. So he can still definitely pull out through this game. He just needs to be able to connect an Arcane Giant a few times, which really relies on Jason Zhao not finding too many more removal spells. If Jason's able to pick up, like, let's say another Execute and the other Shield Slam, then Jason's going to just have all of the tools necessary to close out this game. But Jason, he doesn't have 4 cards left in his deck. He has like 12 cards remaining in his deck, so it's going to be a lot harder for him to piece together these single target removals in time.
Yeah, I think it's 13 cards remaining for Jason Zhao, if I saw it right. And this is the turn for Thijs. So Emperor Thaurissan doesn't give you the burst damage straight from hand to kill Jason Zhao this turn. I think it might be off the table. Double Swipe, on the other hand, would open up the board state. He gets to clear the board, he gets to deal Jason Zhao a pretty significant amount of damage, and then he gets to attack with Stranglethorn Tiger. So he's chipped away the armor at this point. He's got Emperor Thaurissan coming down next turn. He's hoping the Tiger forces removal here, and if that happens, then he's got the burst.
Yeah, and also Malygos might even stick, you know? And then the Arcane Giants are the next 2 draws for Thijs, and then those might even stick, just because you're eating out of Jason Zhao's hand completely. But this N'Zoth, the Sylvanas has been taken. It doesn't bring it back.
I actually don't think there's been a Death Rattle.
Yeah, it does nothing.
Yeah, it's just a 5/7.
He's going to go with it. Open a high roll here, able to get some success. He can put some pressure out on the field with the second Ravaging.
What does that cost him, though? Again, he doesn't have Tankmaster now, and when Thijs sees the Tankmaster, he's got to know something's up. The last 2 cards are both Arcane Giants.
Yeah.
16 power is trapped in the bottom 2 cards of Thijs' build. And Auctioneer's effect is it's a liability 12, now. 19, 26 from hand would be the maximum.
So he's gonna
it would be 26 plus the hero power. So 27 damage would be the maximum available. So that's the magic number that Thijs is looking for. Get Jason Zhao to 27 heading into his turn.
And Jason Zhao should know, you know, that there's 26, maybe 27 available if both Living Roots and the Malygos got discounted. But very safely he knows that there is at least the 26.
That's an important one.
Yeah, that's going to help him.
A very important one right now.
Buy time against Giants.
It's looking like Thijs is going to have to get some real minion damage this game if he's going to win, because the threat of Justicar makes Thijs speed up.
And one of the interesting things is with the swipes exhausted and the only spells being the Moonfires and the Living Roots, if Malygos comes down, for example, goes all face and is the only minion for Thijs sticking, Jason doesn't ever have to remove that. He can just armor pass every turn and win in fatigue against the Malygos because it doesn't push additional, it only pushes 1 additional damage a turn.
Thijs, he's moving in. He
is moving in.
He's saying, you know what, I think there's a chance this Malygos lives. And he's going to add the Arcane Giant next to it, it looks like.
It did look like he queued that up. That could be a little bit punishing as it opens up Brawl for Jason Zhao now. Yeah, he did.
Oh my. I don't know about this one.
I mean, you can't just have only Malagos on the field because it's not enough pressure to beat the hero power.
That's true. He's threatening the lethal, or trying to threaten. It's actually not even threatening lethal in this spot because he's going to go to 14 at the very least. If Jason Joe wins this brawl early, or was this forced? I mean, he had no minion pressure for most of the game.
Yeah, but he knew the Arcane Giants were coming.
Leaving the Malagos. This is a good point, actually. Leaving the Malagos up means that Jason Joe is effectively just taking 0 damage per turn because he's got tank up. So Thijs is forced onto the board in this state, and that means Jason Joe can then respond. Yeah. If he responds correctly here by pacing himself with Brawl and with Shield Slam, he can literally fatigue Thijs.
Yeah, I really like this play by Jason. Really showing the patience, understanding Thijs' deck, knowing that he can buy extra time here, which is going to buy him towards those extra removal spells, which in turn is going to allow him to win in fatigue.
He needed Jason Joe to invest into the Malagos.
And Jason did not. He had the understanding of the matchup in the deck, and his
Thijs concludes that Brawl means he loses regardless.
Yeah.
So he pushes in now. Jason Joe's going to answer with Brawl, and with a second Shield Slam picked up, say goodbye to the last minion. Jason Joe going to put himself on the board.
Really solid Warrior play. This is a difficult matchup to win as the Warrior player.
It really is.
You know, things lined up pretty well for him over the course of the match, but he still piloted it very, very well and was able to get the win here at the end of the day.
Tink Master, I think, is the only spot to look at. And wonder why.
Yeah, but I think the Tink Master was a little questionable.
Either way, wow. Just the thing about it is once he got to the right situation, the execution was perfect. That's just what you're looking for from a strong player.
He looks a lot more comfortable now.
Got the win on his golden class.